Thoughts are not just ideas passing through your mind. They are the raw material from which your reality is shaped. Every emotion you feel, every reaction you have, every choice you make begins as a thought before it becomes an experience. Most people believe reality happens to them, not realizing they are constantly participating in its creation unconsciously. This is not philosophy, and it is not motivational talk. It is a fundamental law of inner experience. What you repeatedly think becomes what you repeatedly perceive. And what you perceive repeatedly becomes the world you believe you live in. Truth, however, does not live in thought the way reality does. Truth emerges when thought settles, slows, and loses its grip on your attention. Truth is clarity, and clarity is always accompanied by silence and calmness. Where there is noise in the mind, truth cannot fully reveal itself. Most people confuse mental certainty with truth, not realizing certainty can be rooted in fear. Calmness is the atmosphere in which truth breathes. Thoughts create meaning, but meaning is not the same as truth. Meaning is personal, shaped by memory, conditioning, and emotional attachment. Truth is impersonal, quiet, and does not argue for itself. Thought demands attention, validation, and reaction. Truth simply is, without needing to be defended or explained. This is why silence often feels uncomfortable to the untrained mind. When your mind is noisy, reality feels chaotic, unstable, and overwhelming. You interpret life through filters of fear, desire, regret, and expectations. Every moment becomes distorted by interpretation rather than direct experience. This is not because life is hostile, but because the mind is restless. Restlessness creates fragmentation, and fragmentation creates confusion. Confusion then convinces you that clarity is outside of you. Thought is powerful, but power without awareness becomes destructive. An unaware mind creates suffering while believing it is protecting itself. It rehearses the past, predicts the future, and ignores the present. Reality becomes a projection instead of a lived moment. You are not seeing life as it is. You are seeing life as you think it is. This is how thought becomes reality without your consent. Truth enters only when thought steps back, not through force, not through suppression, but through understanding. When you stop believing every thought, space begins to open. In that space, calmness arises naturally, without effort. Calmness is not something you achieve. It is what remains when noise dissolves. And within that calmness, truth becomes obvious. Silence is not emptiness. It is intelligence without words. It holds awareness without direction, observation without judgment. The mind fears silence because it cannot control it. Silence exposes the false authority of thought. In silence, you realize you are not your thinking. This realization changes everything. Reality shaped by thought feels heavy, urgent, and reactive. Reality perceived through clarity feels light, grounded, and stable. The difference is not external circumstances, but internal orientation. One comes from identification with the mind. The other comes from awareness observing the mind. This shift is subtle, but it is transformative. You do not need to eliminate thought to find truth. You need to stop obeying thought blindly. Thought is a tool, not a master. When it becomes the master, suffering follows. When it becomes the servant, clarity returns. This is the foundation of inner freedom. Truth does not shout over the noise of thinking. It waits patiently beneath it. The moment you stop chasing answers, truth begins to surface. This is why forced understanding never lasts. Clarity arrives when effort relaxes, and relaxation allows perception to sharpen. Calmness is not weakness, it is stability. A calm mind sees accurately. An agitated mind distorts everything it touches. Most conflicts in life are not external but perceptual. You are fighting interpretations, not reality itself. Silence reveals this distinction clearly. When you sit with silence, unresolved thoughts rise to the surface. This is not failure. It is purification. The mind reveals what it has been hiding. Many people escape this stage, mistaking discomfort for danger. But discomfort is often the doorway to clarity. Passing through it deepens awareness. At this point in the message, pause and reflect honestly. What thoughts are currently shaping your reality without your awareness? Which beliefs feel loud, urgent, and emotionally charged? These are signs of unconscious identification. If this resonates, share in the comments what you're noticing about your own mind. Your insight may help someone else see themselves more clearly. The intent of this message is not to reject thought. It is to restore balance between thinking and awareness. You were never meant to live inside your head. You were meant to use the mind while remaining rooted in presence. Presence is where clarity lives, and clarity brings peace without effort. When truth is present, there is no inner argument, no justification, no mental defense, no urgency. Truth feels settled, even when it is uncomfortable. It does not excite the ego or threaten identity. It simply aligns you with what is. This alignment feels like calm strength. Silence is not passive. It is deeply alert. In silence, you perceive more, not less. You notice subtleties thought overlooks. You sense truth before words form. This is why wise action often arises from stillness. Clarity precedes correct movement. Thought-based reality demands constant maintenance. You must defend beliefs, justify reactions, and control outcomes. Clarity-based living requires none of this. It responds instead of reacts. It listens instead of assumes. This is the difference between tension and flow. When calmness becomes familiar, chaos loses its authority. External noise no longer dictates your inner state. You begin to trust silence more than opinion. This trust transforms decision-making. You move from intuition, not impulse. Life becomes simpler, not easier, but clearer. Truth does not promise comfort. It offers freedom from illusion. Illusions are comfortable until they collapse. Truth may feel quiet, even unsettling at first, but it never betrays you. Illusion always does. The mind wants answers, conclusions, and certainty. Truth offers understanding without closure. This frustrates the ego but nourishes awareness. You stop chasing final explanations. You begin living directly. This is where real peace begins. Reality built on thought is fragile. It shatters when challenged. Reality grounded in clarity is resilient. It adapts without breaking. This resilience comes from inner alignment, and alignment comes from silence. Calmness reveals what effort cannot. When you stop forcing growth, growth accelerates. When you stop seeking truth, truth finds you. This paradox confuses the analytical mind, but awareness understands it immediately. Stillness teaches without words. Your thoughts are not the enemy. Your belief in them is. When belief relaxes, observation begins. Observation brings space. Space brings clarity. Clarity brings truth. As clarity deepens, identity loosens. You stop clinging to stories about yourself. You become less reactive and more responsive. This shift feels like inner maturity. You are no longer driven by unconscious patterns. You are guided by awareness. Truth aligns you with reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. This alignment ends inner resistance. Resistance is the root of suffering. Calmness dissolves resistance naturally. Silence allows acceptance without resignation. This is inner power. When thought quiets, perception sharpens. You notice what was always there. Life feels immediate, vivid, and grounded. You are no longer lost in mental projections. You are present. Presence is the highest clarity. At this stage, many people fear losing control. But what they lose is false control. What they gain is inner stability. Stability does not depend on circumstances. It arises from truth. Truth arises from silence. This message is not meant to be believed. It is meant to be observed. Watch your thoughts without judgment. Notice how they shape perception. Notice what happens when you do not follow them. Let experience teach you. Calmness is not emotional numbness. It is emotional intelligence. You feel deeply without being overwhelmed. You act clearly without force. This is mastery, not suppression. This is awareness embodied. Truth does not belong to any belief system. It does not require agreement. It reveals itself through stillness. Anyone willing to be silent can access it. This accessibility makes it threatening to the ego, but liberating to the soul. As thoughts lose dominance, gratitude arises naturally. Not because life is perfect, but because perception is honest. Honesty ends internal conflict. Conflict dissolves into acceptance. Acceptance creates peace. When you live from clarity, you listen more than you speak. You respond more than you react. You trust silence more than noise. This changes relationships profoundly. Others feel seen without being analyzed. Connection becomes real. Truth does not need defense. It does not argue with illusion. It simply stands firm. This firmness feels like calm confidence. Not arrogance, not superiority. Just grounded presence. If this message has stirred something within you, pause with it. Do not rush to conclusions. Let silence reveal what words cannot. And if something became clear for you today, share it in the comments. Tell us what you want to understand more deeply. This space is for reflection, not performance. The intent of this message is simple: to remind you that thoughts create reality, but truth creates freedom. Reality can change, but truth remains. Clarity is always silent. Calmness is always honest. And awareness is always here. You do not need to escape thought. You need to see through it. Seeing dissolves illusion effortlessly. Effort only strengthens identification. Understanding brings release. Release brings peace. Silence is not the absence of life. It is life without distortion. When you rest there, you stop searching. You stop chasing meaning. You begin living truth. This is fulfillment. Thought will continue to arise, but it no longer defines you. It becomes a passing cloud, not the sky. You remain open, aware, and calm. This is inner freedom. This is clarity. Carry this awareness into your daily life. Notice when thought tightens. Return to calmness without force. Truth does not rush. It waits in silence. And silence is always available. Thought creates reality, but truth creates clarity. Clarity is silent, calm, and unshakable. You do not need to search for it. You need to stop drowning it out. Sit in silence, observe gently, and let truth emerge. That is where real life begins.